Hey, what's up, life designers? Welcome to Intentional Tuesdays. This week's episode is called Are You Hitting Your Mark? The idea here is that we spend most of our attention, most of our time, focusing on the end objective, the ultimate result of our efforts. And I'd like to suggest that that may not be the most effective strategy. In fact, that you may actually get better results by focusing on the quality of your execution rather than simply focusing on the ultimate results. The question then becomes, what does quality execution look like? And how do you go about ensuring quality execution? In order to accomplish this, we are going to rely on a very cool word called meriki. The Greek word meriki actually comes from Turkish, where the word merak means a labor of love. And the Greeks used the word meriki to describe when you put love and passion and a bit of your soul into your work. And another interesting piece of the word meriki is if you do put your passion and your soul and your love into your work, then a little bit of you is actually transferred into the work itself. So your personality will shine through when you actually look at the final work product. So it's a really cool, interesting word. Now, the concept of meriki is most often used in the context of the creative arts, whether it be painting or sculpting. I've even heard meriki used in the context of the culinary arts in cooking. But the reality is you can use the concept of meriki in any aspect of your life. Any task, any endeavor that you are undertaking, you can do so with meriki. So now I'm going to show you how to bring a sense of meriki to anything that you do. So I want you to start by identifying a task, and it can be anything. It can be something that's complex, it can be something that's incredibly simple. It could be something that's really, really important to you, or it could be something that is seemingly trivial. It doesn't matter. Just pick a task that we want to use for this first exercise. Now I want you to grab a sheet of paper, just standard 8.5 by 11 paper will do just fine. And across the top, I want you to write the name of the task that you have chosen, whether it be doing the laundry, or having a conversation with your significant other, completing a report at work. It doesn't matter. Just write the task across the top of the paper. Then I want you to fold the paper in half so that you have two vertical columns. And in the left column, I want you to describe how you go about that task under normal circumstances. So I want you to describe things like your state of mind, your level of awareness, your level of attention, the energy level that you imagine you would have if you were executing that task under normal conditions. And then ask yourself, what does the quality of my effort look like when I'm executing this task under what would be my everyday normal state? And as you write these descriptions out, it really doesn't matter what format you use. You can write it in bullets if that makes more sense to you. If you want to use complete sentences, feel free. Don't feel the need to make this look pretty. You can go back and revise this over time, and you're not going to be sharing it with anybody, so just get your ideas down on paper. Now I would like you to move on to the second column, and in that column on the right hand side, we are going to describe what this task would look like if you executed it with a deep sense of meriki. So what would it look like in practice? What would it look like if you were to put your soul, your essence of your personality and your gifts, if you were to put your full attention, your love and your passion into that task? What would it look like? How would you go about doing that? How would you infuse some of this meriki into that particular task? What would that look like? Go ahead and write that down. So your initial reaction may be that it's really awkward to think about how you would put love and soul and the essence of your being into a task, especially if you chose a task that is seemingly simple and trivial, like folding the laundry. So you might say, Mike, how could folding the laundry, how could I infuse my soul, my passion, my love into folding the laundry? Well, for me, it would be about folding the clothing in a way that's even every time. Every shirt gets folded very precisely and very evenly. And as I'm doing the folding, I'd be very focused only on the task at hand. I'd be really careful to get all of the wrinkles out before I completed my fold. So I don't have children, but if I could imagine if I was folding my child's clothing, I might do so with a sense of joy and love in being in performing a service on behalf of my child. In my own case, I might just get in touch with a real sense of gratitude over the fact that I have a nice shirt to wear and that I actually have clothing, and really just getting in touch with that sense of gratitude. In the end, it's ultimately your Meraki that we are getting in touch with, so it's really up to you as to how to define it. But you can just imagine whatever task you are undertaking, you really have to figure out what would it look like to be soulful, to be deeply attuned to the task, and to really infuse my joy into that task and come up with whatever that is for you and that particular task. So then, of course, the last step is to actually do whatever that task is. And as you're doing the task, as you're folding the laundry, having the conversation with your spouse, completing that report for work, try to actually bring the Meraki into your execution of that task. Try to actually infuse your work with your essence, with your soul, with your love, and with your passion, and really try to get some of that Meraki into the task that you're doing. And then as you do that, be really aware and notice how does it feel as you're executing this task. How does it feel? And how does it feel differently than the way that you would normally do it? So you really want to get a comparison between the left and the right columns in your note-taking exercise. You really want to get a sense of, oh, when I do this task with Meraki, it feels different. My energy level is different. My sense of importance in doing this task is different. And you want to get in touch with that difference. One thing you might do is you might imagine the subtle ways that the consumers, whatever it is you're doing, the ultimate people who are going to encounter your work product, imagine the subtle ways that they're going to experience your personality. So, and again, this is really subtle. So, in the example of folding the laundry, when my child wears the shirt that I folded for them, my child is going to be putting a bit of my love on their body, and they're going to feel it. They may not notice that that's what it is, and it may be so subtle that they don't say, oh, the shirt feels differently than it normally does. But just imagine how your Meraki might come out of whatever work product you are applying it towards. And ultimately, you want to notice the difference in the results that you get. Now, again, focusing on the results, I wanted to bring it full circle to results, because ultimately, I do believe that you will get better results. If you are bringing your Meraki to everything that you do, I do believe that you will be getting much better results in the long run. And I don't think you'll be disappointed, so give it a try. So that's it for this week's Intentional Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you haven't done so already, check out the written portion of the blog post down below. And as always, if you know somebody else who might be interested, please point them in our direction. Ask them to sign up for the Intentional Tuesdays each week. I always appreciate having another reader, another listener to the weekly Intentional Tuesdays. So with that, I wish you all the best until our paths cross again. Prosperous journey. Take care.